Louie T. Welcome to Championship Sunday here on the Louie T Network. Man, what a ball game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have clinched their ticket to Super Bowl 55 as they get the 31-26 victory over the Green Bay Packers in a hell of a football game. The defense stepped up when they had to. I'd be lying to you if I sat here and told you I was excited. I'm pissed, okay? Didn't want this Buccaneers team in the Super Bowl. Didn't want Brady's ass in the Super Bowl again. And I damn sure didn't want to see Tampa Bay be the first team to play a Super Bowl in their home stadium. So you damn right I'm pissed. And, I'm an Aaron Rodgers guy. This one hurts his legacy. Should have ran that football. All right? 3rd and goal from the 8. It opens up. J.C. Pierre-Paul is running. You got to outrun his ass. Worst case scenario, he catches you from behind at the 2, and you go for it 4th and goal from the 2. There are a lot of questions, not a ton of answers right now. Matt LaFleur will have to answer at his presser about not going for the touchdown there. There is no way in hell you kick the football and you decide to leave the defense, who hasn't been great all day long. If not for the 3 interceptions, this is a 40-point game, again, by the Buccaneers offensively. They were driving on several of those drives where those turnovers occurred. You can't assume they're going to get a stop. Why would you assume that they're going to get a stop and get Aaron Rodgers back to football? It's a poor decision. I actually thought that the Buccaneers made a bad decision on, first of all, I thought the Packers made a poor decision on not kicking the ball out of the back of the end zone with 2:05 left on the clock because you have that extra timeout. But he hadn't been kicking the football out of the end zone the entire day. But then I thought the Buccaneers made an equally bad decision of sliding down with 2:02 left, but then I thought about it. Oh, makes perfectly good sense. They didn't want the clock to get to 2 minutes. They wanted to have the free ability to be able to throw the football before the 2-minute warning. It makes a ton of sense. Without any penalty. At 2:02, if you throw it and it's incomplete, it's the same thing as you throwing it and it being incomplete without them having to burn a timeout. So in essence, it's going to stop anyway. The clock's going to stop regardless. At 2:02, when you run this next snap, clock's going to stop regardless, whatever you do. So you have the ability to throw the football without any penalty. If it's incomplete, the clock was going to stop anyway. If it's complete, it's going to stop anyway. So it was actually brilliance on the part of Bruce Arians and his club and his team and his staff to tell Mickens, who actually had a hell of a day returning the ball, to slide down there with 2:02 left so that they would have the ability to run that first down snap without any penalty. That was actually tremendous coaching there, and I thought they really did a great job. I wasn't a big fan of Byron Leftwich coming into this game. I thought he did a phenomenal job calling plays in this football game. I mean, even down to the last pitch to Godwin to salt this game away, I thought he was amazing in his play calling today. And I thought the Packers were off balance for the much part of the day. I thought they executed as well as you could execute in that first half. I thought both teams actually executed really well in the first half of this game offensively until the Rodgers interception. And then the Brady touchdown at the end. To me, that was the play of the game. We could talk about all the plays in the second half, and there were a lot of big plays in the second half of this game. The Aaron Jones fumble forced by Edwards before he ended up leaving the game. Massive play. Or excuse me, I think that was Whitehead, that forced that fumble. And he had forced one earlier in the game on a similar hit. Anyway, there were big plays made all over the place, but that throw right before the half with 8 seconds, you cannot allow that to happen if you're Green Bay, and that's what Brady has been doing all season long with Scotty Miller. Fantastic throw, great play to get open and over the top by Scotty Miller, and that's a backbreaker before the half. You take what is a 4-point game, maybe it gets to 7 with a quick 5-6 yard completion, and Ryan Suckup has to come out and attempt a 51 yarder. Maybe you get it to 7 at 17 to 10. But to have it be 21-10 at half, that was a backbreaker. And I knew it was going to take a lot for this Packers offense to overcome. But 11 points isn't insurmountable. But the fumble after halftime was massive because that put it at 28-10 after the defense came on the field and was lifeless and gave up a touchdown on the very first snap. To get it to 28-10, you're asking a lot. Even though we know Rodgers is fully capable of leading 3 touchdown drives, I said, you've got to know that Brady's not done scoring for the day. And look, the defense for the Packers made some plays. They got the 3 interceptions in the second half that really gave them an opportunity to get back into this game. And the Packers failed time after time after time after those turnovers. To me, this is a legacy hit to Aaron Rodgers for me. This is the game you need to win. You know, you talk about all these never having an opportunity at Lambeau to win and this, that, and the third. We'll come back to them. To the victors go the spoils. Let's start with the Buccaneers in this football game. And I'm going to start on the offensive side of football because that's where this game was won, if you want to be honest. I thought the offensive play calling, as I've already mentioned, was phenomenal. Phenomenal. And you had drop passes again, but guys made some plays when they had to be made. How about Gronk with a big catch and run? Hadn't called his name all day long. Biggest catch and run of the fourth quarter there with Gronk on a big-time second down call. I love that. I thought that the PI call, it was the right call, but it's a bullshit call in a game where you haven't thrown the flag at all for anything and guys have been molested. I can't tell you how many times Packers guys were held. Can't tell you how many times Buccaneers receivers were held in this game. They weren't calling anything. Let them play has been the mantra. On a big third down, Murphy Bunting is absolutely destroying Allen Lazard. He's holding him at the line of scrimmage for about the first 5 yards of the route, and you don't throw the flag on a third down, but you throw it there. That's the thing, is it was missed calls, or I like to let them play, and I yearn for consistency, and they had given us that the entire game. It was going both ways. Both teams were getting away. There was a deep ball to Mike Evans down the sideline, and there's a clear, blatant hold by Kevin King, who was getting beat like a drum deep all day long, and they let it go. They've been letting these go all game long, and in that moment, and that was not a catchable ball from Brady, at that moment, you're going to throw the flag? Really? That's the kind of stuff that bothers me. If you're going to be if you're going to be letting them play, if that's going to be the mantra throughout the day, we're going to let them play, which this officiating crew I thought did a phenomenal job, a tremendous job of letting them play, then you can't throw that flag right there. I'm not saying let guys go out and tackle somebody, but on the interception, it was the same damn thing. Murphy Bunting literally pulled the receiver that thrusted him into the interception, and you didn't call it. If you're not going to call it, then don't call it. You can't call it right there. You can't do that. If you haven't been calling it all game, you can't call it. It was a flag. But so was the Murphy Bunting interception. So was the Murphy Bunting third down on the possession, 2 possessions previous when the Packers had to punt after the second interception. You've got to throw the flag there if you're going to throw it in that last instance. So got to call it both ways. But outside of that, I thought Brady, the 3 interceptions. I mean, they're 3 interceptions. I mean, it is what it is. I thought, and you can't take away the 3 interceptions. I thought Brady was phenomenal. I mean, there was a third down throw to Johnson where he threw it 101 miles an hour. I didn't know he still had that kind of juice. You know, he literally reared back and zipped it in there. I'm like, whew, radar gun. I looked at it, said 101. I said, shit, he still got it. I mean, we're in January, and he's still zipping it 101. Looks like he's still got about a good 3-4 years left in the tank, man. I don't know. The throw to Scotty Miller before the half, are you kidding me? How about the drop by Mike Evans? That's a hell of a throw by Brady. I mean, Brady was exceptional in this game. Again, outside of the 3 interceptions, all right? And 2 of those interceptions I felt like were on him. You know, the overthrow on the first one. Hell, that Mike Evans one, the third one actually, I think that was the one to Jair Alexander. That was on Brady too. That was high. You can't ask Evans you can't extend any more than he did on that play. All 3 of them were probably on Brady, to be honest with you. Now that I'm thinking, I'm recalling them all in my head. All 3 of them were probably on Brady. It doesn't matter. Brady was outstanding. He made the throws when they had to be made. He gave this Buccaneers team early confidence and momentum. That first drive of the game, 3 for 3 on third downs, that's all Brady. You know how big that is to come on the road, first possession of the game, and take it down the field and score a touchdown? Do you know how much of a release that was for the rest of the team? When you go out on the opening possession and your leader, Tom Brady, takes you right down the field and you score a touchdown on the road against Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field, you know how much of a momentum build that is? Like, Brady was phenomenal in this game. Again, the 3 interceptions are massive, but I thought Brady was exceptional, and he gave this team every opportunity to win the game, and they did. Defensively, I've always said this Buccaneers secondary is a weakness. I get it, they were missing Antoine Winfield Jr. Doesn't matter. He could have been out there. It doesn't matter. Their secondary is their problem. And Rodgers and company, I thought, did some really good things against that secondary. We knew they were vulnerable. I honestly feel like the game balls on the defensive side of the football should go to your 2 defensive ends, though, because there was another shot that Rodgers was going to take down the field after, I want to say it was after either the second or third interception, and JPP comes from behind and hits him, and that ball goes straight up in the air, ultimately goes incomplete. If Rodgers is able to cut that thing loose, might have been 6. He had an open receiver down the field. I mean, the safety was coming. I don't think he would have got there in time. We would have had to have seen if that ball would have been on the money. Then you get an offsides penalty on Sue, and Rodgers, again, we've seen the Buccaneers wet the bed in the secondary on these coverages where there's mix-ups and guys think they got help or they just blow coverage. Davante Adams is screaming up the sideline, just like we saw in the Giants game on a Monday night earlier this season when receivers are running wide open and for whatever reason the quarterback doesn't see him. You got Davante Adams going down the field. Now, I don't remember if they scored a touchdown on that drive or not. I think they ultimately did score a touchdown on that drive. Maybe they didn't. I can't recall, but that's an opportunity you can't miss if you're Aaron Rodgers. But that's nor here nor there. I thought that both JPP and Shaq Barrett, pay the man, okay? Pay the man. Both were exceptional in this game. I mean, they were fantastic, and without their pressure, consistent pressure throughout the day, I don't know if the Buccaneers are able to hold the Packers to 26 points. I really don't know if that takes place or not. They were outstanding up front. They really were. They did a really good job of, for the most part, limiting the Packers on the ground. There were some good hits in there, but for the most part, this was on Aaron Rodgers to win the game. The run game wasn't a big help because they took that away. That's what the Buccaneers have done for the most part this season, is they've taken away the other team's ability to run, and they've made teams one-dimensional all season long. That's why they were the number 1 rush defense in the league this year coming into the postseason, and they showed you signs of that in this ball game. But honestly, what I wanted to focus on defensively were the 2 possessions after the interceptions in the fourth quarter, with the momentum of this game switching to the Green Bay Packers. It's 28-10. The Packers go down, get a touchdown. It's 28-17. The Packers go down, get another touchdown. It's after the first interception. It's 28-23. You get the deflection on what should have been a conversion on the 2-point play, but it's 28-23. And Brady on the next 2 possessions throws 2 interceptions, and the defense comes out on both occasions and gets stops. I can't tell you how big that is. The field position for the Packers after both of those interceptions weren't great. None of those interceptions resulted with the football starting at their own 37 or at midfield or anything of the sort. However, just taking the football away with the momentum that the offense was building for Green Bay, for the defense to come onto the field and get stops in both of those situations, I thought was massive. That was, and I tweeted this out, that's championship football right there. I mean, you can say what you want about this defense, and they weren't good in the third quarter, and in the early stretches of the fourth, they weren't good there either. They stepped up when they had to. And remember, one of the keys to the game, one of the biggest keys to the game for me, red zone offense. Buccaneers hadn't been good this season, or postseason, I should say, and the Packers were one of the best during the regular season, historically one of the best in the regular season. Well, they weren't great last week in the red zone. Packers were 3 of 6, I believe, 3 of 5, 3 of 6, one of the two. And Tampa Bay, I talked about it, 4 of 11 coming in. How were they going to fare? Well, they got it done in the red zone. The Packers did not. The Packers had to settle for a field goal early in the game. They had to settle for a field goal late when the game was on the line with a chance to tie. They had opportunities. They didn't get it done. And so, again, I thought Rodgers should have run. He didn't. He tried to force it to Adams. They knew he wanted to go to Adams. They converged, almost picked it off. It was a bad decision by Aaron Rodgers. He missed a wide open Allen Lazard on the first possession where they had to settle for the field goal. He's running a slant. He tries to force it to Davante Adams in the back of the end zone. Lazard can't be any more wide open on the slant. He could have ran up and shoveled it to him. He was so damn wide open. And he chose to go to Adams, and it was incomplete. Aaron Rodgers failed his team in this game. He did. He failed his team. He didn't make the plays. He didn't get it done. Davante Adams, could he have caught that football on the first down play where he runs essentially a back shoulder fade with all that space out there? Sure. Could that have been a better ball? You're damn right. That was not a great ball from Aaron Rodgers. You're asking a man who's running hard outside to stop, plant, turn, and extend both hands way outside of his frame and catch the football. Can Davante Adams do it? You're damn right he can. He had 115 catches this season. Yeah, he's fully capable. And if you ask him, he should have caught it. But that's not a good ball from Rodgers. There was too much space there for that ball to be that far outside. Okay? He could have hit him in between the 1 and the 7, and that would have been an easy touchdown. That corner wasn't even close after the move Adams gave him off the line of scrimmage. So that was a bad ball. And the third down ball took him out of bounds. In any event, Rodgers had 2 opportunities in the red zone, and he failed. He failed. Put this on Aaron Rodgers. His legacy, again, he's still one of the greatest we've seen of this generation. But this was an opportunity right here at the crib to take your team to a Super Bowl. And for the second straight year in the NFC Championship game, you failed. Last year, I put it on the defense. They weren't good enough. We knew they weren't good enough. And we knew the offensive line wasn't going to be able to stand up against San Francisco's pass rush. We knew it. They weren't going to be able to run the football. They were going to get after Rodgers, and they did that. This was a game that we knew they had a chance to win. We knew they could win this football game, but we knew they were going to have to score points to do it. This wasn't going to be like last week against the Rams and Jared Goff. You're playing against Tom effing Brady, who's now on his way to his 10th Super Bowl. So you knew you were going to have to score. And he didn't bring his A game. Not in the red zone, at least. He didn't bring his A game. And he had a chance to run. I'm putting this loss on Aaron Rodgers, and I hate to do it because that's my guy. He's got to take off and run there. It's one thing if you see Adams wide open and you want to cut that loose. He wasn't open. There was a defender already there and a safety converging down. You got to take off and run. It was John Elway time. It was time for the helicopter at the goal line to score, to put your team in a position to go to the Super Bowl. It was time for him to man up, and he went bitch on us. I'm putting that in Aaron Rodgers' lap. I won't forget that one. If I'm a Packers fan, I won't forget that one. I need it. He wasn't willing to sell out for his team right there. Big stop for the Buccaneers there. I don't know what the hell Matt LaFleur was thinking when he decided this is a really good idea for me to go ahead and attempt this field goal now and we'll get it back. What in your right mind possessed you to think that your defense, who had been on the ropes all game long, was going to stop the Buccaneers 3 and out and get it right back to Aaron Rodgers one more time? What in your right mind possessed you to think that that was going to happen? I'm just at a loss as to why he thought it was a smart idea to kick the field goal and play for the win if they could get it back. If this isn't Jared Goff and the Rams, this is Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You really think you're getting the damn ball back? Seriously? If you thought you were going to get the football back, if you thought that was a smart idea, Matt LaFleur, I need you to go to your nearest sink, turn on the coldest water you can turn on. So don't touch the left faucet. Don't touch that left knob. Turn the right one all the way up. I hope it's 7 degrees outside so the water just comes out ice cold. And as it gets colder, stick both hands under the sink faucet. Get as big a glob of water as you can and splash it on your damn face and get your mind right. It's the stupidest decision I've ever heard. Your defense wasn't good enough in this game. At no point was this defense good enough. They were aided by interceptions. The Bucs were moving the football. How many times did they punt in this game anyway? What, 2? I don't know what the hell's wrong with him. Anyway, big win for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 3 straight road victories for the Bucs. They scored 31, 30, and 31 again to advance to Super Bowl 55. I think they're going to be playing the Chiefs, and they're going to be the first team. What is this, 55 or 54? I think it's 54, right? First team in NFL history to play at home in the Super Bowl. Are you effing kidding me? I'm so disgusted. We let Tom Brady bring his monkey ass over to the NFC and march right to the goddamn Super Bowl. You gotta be kidding me. Have some class, all right? Have some damn decency about yourself, NFC. You should be ashamed. This man was running the show in the AFC, and you let him come right over to the NFC and keep the damn party going. You should be a damn shame to yourself. The entire conference. Unbelievable. Damn Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. Shit. Anyway, I digress. If you haven't already done so, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Turn on that notification bell. And also, like the video, okay? Hit that like button as well. Let's get to the comment section. Again, if you want your comment read on the air, if it is pertinent, all right, use the hashtag LouieTeeLive. We've got, oh, well, shit. Looks like the AFC Championship game is already on. So we don't even have any more time. I thought we had more time than we did, but the next game is on. So with that said, I got one super chat. I'm gonna read that and then we're gonna get out of here. From Alec Meehan. Thank you for the super chat, Alec Meehan. Greatly appreciate you. My man Alec writes, all I'm gonna say is this is how you're gonna let them play for 58 minutes, then decide to throw the flag on that play in that situation. It's a flag. That's a penalty. That's not my issue. My issue is you haven't thrown that all day long. That's not the spot where you decide, I got to throw this flag. If you're going to let them play and you're going to let it ride, then let it ride. That's all I'm saying. If you've been throwing that all day, I got no problems because that was definitely holding at worst. Balls in the air, it turns into pass interference. I got no problems with the call itself. That's the right call. You just haven't been calling it. How are you going to call it now? That was my problem with that. Is you haven't called it. We've seen instance after instance for both teams. But we've seen instance after instance where you didn't call that. And now, with the biggest play of the game, with Rodgers having a chance to get it back with about 1:35 and a timeout still in his back pocket, you're going to call that now? Unreal. Unbelievable. But, as I mentioned, they called it. And you know what? I think the better team won this football game. I really, really do. And so, what it all boils down to is the Buccaneers added Tom Brady, and they pretty much bitched the entire NFC. And I'm ashamed because I'm an NFC guy through and through. And I had pride. I said, there's no way Brady's coming over here. First thing I said is, you're not winning the damn division. And the Saints, at least they protected the NFC South for 1 year. They'll be winning the division. If they stay healthy, they'll win it next year. But I said, and I told you it was okay if they won the Super Bowl next year. Just, they couldn't go in year one. Well, they're there in year one. If the Bills get there, they're going to win it. If the Bills don't get there, they're not winning it. They're not going to. That secondary, that defense is not stopping Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense. That secondary will be shredded for 400 yards if the Chiefs want to do that. And I'm pretty sure they're going to look at the film and they're going to say, well, we're not running it against these boys. Looks like we're going to have to open it up and let it fly. And Mahomes is going to carve these boys up in that secondary. But that's another comment and another discussion for another day because the Chiefs first have to win. And if they don't, well, you can go ahead and give Brady his 7th Super Bowl right now. But that game has started. I've talked for far too long. I thought we had more time, but we don't. So I'm going to allow you to enjoy the second half of this Championship Sunday double header, and then we'll be back. And if you Buc fans want to talk about this win, you can run it back at 10:15 or 10:20 or so, and I'll be more than glad to entertain you guys then. But we're going to watch this AFC Championship. We'll see who will be hosting, because even though the Buccaneers are technically home, they're the lower seed. I don't know how the NFL will play it. I don't know if they alternate home and away or if it's just a higher seeded team. Either way, they'll be at home. It doesn't make a difference. Home or away, it doesn't matter. If they're wearing their white jerseys or they're wearing their red jerseys, it doesn't matter. They're home. They're at Raymond James Stadium. Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. In year one, they let Brady go to the Super Bowl in Tampa. Shameful. I'm your man, Louie T. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't already done so, one more time, make sure you subscribe to the Louie T Network. Turn on that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And also, make sure you like this video on the way out. Go ahead, enjoy the AFC Championship game. We'll be back to break it all down at its conclusion. I'll see you guys then. Enjoy the game. Bart Scott. Can't wait. I'll see you guys at the conclusion of Bills Chiefs.
LouieTeeNetwork.